Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The Washington County Personnel Committee meeting is now in order. I have asked JP Shannon Marty if she would lead us in the prayer and the pledge, but before she does, I received this text from our county coroner, Mr. Roger Morris. He says, Mrs. Ecke, my mother died, and a visitation from 5 to 7 tonight. Funeral is tomorrow afternoon, and I need to know if I need to be there tonight. I responded, Dear Mr. Morris, our deepest condolences to you and your family, as well as our prayers for God's presence to uphold you. No, sir, you do not need to attend the meeting. I will speak in support of your request. His response, Mrs. Ecke, I can't thank you enough. I thought working in death for 40 years would be little different, but when it's your mother, and one that it always believes in you. I am the baby of 3. It's a little more difficult than I thought. Your prayers and your God's blessing on us is very much received. So if you would please keep our coroner and his family in your prayers, I'm sure he would greatly appreciate it. JP Marty. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who've trespassed against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from the evil one. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Justice Marty. Do I have a motion to adopt the agenda?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The agenda has been adopted. Item number 4, Chairman's Report. I'm trying to find her. There she is. What a delight it is to see former JP Ann Harbison visiting with us today. And I would like you to stand up that we may honor you in your presence, and we thank you for being here. We miss you terribly, and it's so good to see you. Okay, item number 5, an ordinance creating a position in the deputy coroner in the coroner's budget and appropriating the amount of $8,744 from the unappropriated reserves to the coroner's budget for the 2021 budget. Do I have a motion for approval?
I move that we approve this 21-0-113 and move it on with a new pass recommendation.
I'll
To-
second.
What, it goes to the Budget and Finance Committee first?
Yes, it can.
It needs to be appropriated for 2021. I have a motion by Justice Dennis and a second by JP Pond.
Yes, ma'am.
Do I have any discussion? I would like to say also that we need to amend the coroner's 2022 budget to include this position. So when we do go to the full quorum court, an amendment to the coroner's budget will be needed in order to have this position in there.
So
Is everybody interested?
you need that as a motion now?
No, it's just something that for you to keep in mind, that we just is dotting all our i's and crossing all our t's and not forgetting to add this, because this budget will need to be amended. It won't be in there. Is there any other discussion? Justice Lemming?
With that said, this 8744, is that the remainder of this year?
Yes.
And how much is it total for next year?
Total, he was supposed to send that to me, I do believe,
I don't see that anywhere.
no, it's going to be probably either in Budget and Finance or in the Quorum Court, but I will say that he compared deputy coroner positions with Benton County, and he has money that's less than, I think it's about 38,000.
Thank
But
you.
it would, that's something that we'll have to see. But for right now, for the 2021 budget, this is the amount that it is.
Okay.
I'm sure he'll have that information for you. Any other questions? Is there any public comment? With that said, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The motion carries. It will be passed to the Budget and Finance Committee with a due pass recommendation. Thank you. Okay. Next is an ordinance creating the Criminal Justice Coordinating Committee Coordinator in the county judge's budget for 2021. This is an ordinance that's finally come to light. I mean, it's finally here. It's finally arrived. And I will say that the Criminal Justice Coordinator, this is a position that will be an employee in the county judge's office. This position has been removed from the criminal justice system, as in any circuit judge's office or the sheriff's office, for the purpose of remaining objective. The salary will come out of the county judge's budget and has a current market value assessed at $60,000. The FLSA status is a 3-year position. It is temporary, no overtime eligibility, and it's a salary. They will be working from home with 40% of their time traveling locally. They will report to the county administrator. And I'm sure you have in your packet the nature of work. The Criminal Justice Coordinator, in coordination with the Criminal Justice Coordinating Council. The CCJC member is responsible for the administration of the Criminal Justice Coordinating Council. Under minimal supervision, this position works independently and autonomously taking action to align and advance the CJCC's strategic priorities for the purpose of improving the local criminal justice system. The CJC builds a consensus among the CJCC members in developing a strategic approach, overseeing the implementation of policies, and overseeing initiatives that result from the consensus. That's an overview of this position. This is an ordinance that is sponsored by Justice Lance Johnson. Are there any questions? I have Justice Lemming.
You said he's gonna be traveling, and we're gonna pay him mileage, we're gonna buy him a car, what are we gonna do there? That's gotta be, was that a question for later date, or?
I don't know if that's probably a Budget and Finance question as far as travel time
Okay.
and providing whatever benefits. For right now, this is a salary that the personnel is set.
You said this was part-time, but looks like it's full-time salary, social security, and everything goes with that. So I guess when you're part-time, you still get all that.
No, it's not part-time, it's a temporary position.
Okay.
No, I'm sure it's a full-time position when you're working and researching and coordinating and having other meetings. Now, this is just a temporary 3-year position.
Okay.
But they're not, because it's salary, you're not eligible for overtime. Any other discussion? Justice Dennis?
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Does it exist already, this position?
No, this is one
Okay.
that's being created due to the criminal justice
Okay.
report that we had. That was a
I just
recommendation.
wanted to be clear because it sounded like it was under a different person.
No, it
Says
was under,
It wasn't moved under the judge, it's
Well,
created under the judge.
right, it was removed from the criminal justice system, as in the circuit judges or the sheriff's offices or the judge's offices, to remain objective and not under their bias.
Okay. All right. I accept that.
Okay?
Yeah.
I don't know if
Thank you.
Justice Johnson wants to add anything to it, but I will entertain a motion. Justice Rios Stafford.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Yeah, I will move to pass this ordinance, approve this ordinance with a do pass recommendation. And does this move on to the Budget
And
Committee?
Finance. It
Budget
has
and
to be,
Finance
if it's an
Committee.
appropriation, so
Okay.
it has to go through Budget and Finance before it can go through the full quorum court.
Okay.
I have a motion. Do I have a second? I have a second from Justice Lemming. Is there any public comment? We have one public comment.
Hi, Sarah Moore, Fayetteville, Arkansas. I echo the sentiment, and I'm very thankful for, I know it's been a long road to get to this point, having the assessment done. We've taken a year to really look at the assessment after we've had it since August of last year. And this is one of the very first parts of the recommendation, was to get this person in place. I've spent some time talking to the National Association of Counties and talking to other counties that actually have functioning criminal justice coordinating committees that have been in place for multiple years. I just want to bring to this committee and to the entire body and the audience that's here today to give a broad range of what it looks like in other counties and what the expectation is with the type of person that might fulfill this role. I have a little bit of concern at the way that we've structured it. I'm very excited about the types of stipulations we've put in place, the criteria, the type of caliber person that we want. But many roles usually that are at this level, that are asking for a level of leadership, tend to be in a range. I would see that 60,000 would probably be the starting bottom of a range, with some kind of level of 60 to 80 or 90 or 100,000, because this role actually states that they want a bachelor's degree and a master's is preferred, trying to think about getting the most competitive candidate possible. Additionally, I wanted to bring to your attention, I shared with some of you, in Douglas County, Kansas, which is kind of a similar type county to us, 3 hours to our north. They've been in operation for the last 3 or 4 years with their Criminal Justice Coordinating Committee. One of the key things is to lead with data-based evidence approach. They actually put a data analyst in place as well. And so I'd like to encourage us, as we are looking at our budget, as we have the American Rescue monies, as we have a very abundant general fund currently, as we move forward, that we really think about setting ourselves up for success and making those decisions led by very good data. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Moore.
Just a short follow-up, since you might not have very many people talking. John Comstock, I live in Benton County, but I want to assure you, I feel very connected to Washington County. I'm over here all the time. I do mediations, Comstock Conflict Resolution Services, and more than 50% of my mediations are out of the circuit courts of Washington County. And I'm a member of your Washington County Bar Association as well. So I kind of want to make you have some confidence that I feel connected to you, even though I live in Benton County. And I feel like we can learn a lot from you. I just want to say thank you for doing this. This is to me, is a huge step. I agree with Sarah Moore. I think a range in salary would be nice, but I just say thank you for what you're doing. You folks have the potential to be leaders in this state. To me, this position is a position that can help, because I know why you're doing it, because the folks that are now on that committee, they're all volunteers. They've all got full-time jobs, and they can't take on this task as adequately as it needs to be done. You recognize that, so I commend you for it.
Thank you. Let me just say one thing as we're waiting for this, our last public comment. By ordinance, all entering employees, first-time employees start at the first quartile or the first range of whatever the salary is assessed at. And then they have the opportunity to move up as they go forward. Our juvenile director, Dr. Collins, had a PhD, but yet she had to start out at the entry level that the county set. So it's not something we're against anybody, but that's just part of our process and our procedures. Thank you. Yes. your
Yes, my name
please.
is Mac Mayfield. I live at 980 Rocky Lane, Fayetteville, 72704. I wanted to speak in support of the ordinance. Glad to see that we're moving on the report that we got last year from the National States Court System. I think this is an investment. We spend an awful lot on our judicial system and on law enforcement and on jail, and it makes a lot of sense to me to have those activities coordinated so that they're working hand in glove and not isolated and not just stuck in their own little worlds. It's the whole system that counts. So
Yeah.
thank you very much for doing this. I'd like to see it pass. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayfield.
Thank you, Madam Chair. My name is Beth Koger. I live in Fayetteville, Arkansas. I just have one concern. I believe that you mentioned that this position would be under the county administrator, and the criminal justice assessment study made it clear it should not be under a political figure. So I'm not sure who the county administrator is. I'm hoping someone in this committee can clear that up for me. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you for your comment. Now I have a motion and a second to advance this to the Budget and Finance Committee with a due pass recommendation. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? The motion carries. Okay, this is our public comment period time. Is there any other additional public comment on the agenda for this evening? I see none. The personnel, Thank you. We have a jail and law enforcement committee right behind us.
Yes, I'll be fast. I just wanted to bring forward, because I hadn't to personnel before, but one of the things that we've been working through in finance and budget is pay ranges and pay scales. And we still, at this time, have not addressed the lowest earners in the county. And so I don't know if that's something in the future that we can take up to have a conversation in personnel about those folks in the county that make less than $15 an hour. But I would like to ask for you to consider that and taking that up as a conversation about across departments, those that are making less than 15. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Moore. With that being said, the Personnel Committee is now adjourned.